Hi, class. Hope all is going well. Just stopping by to touch bases with you. We are approaching on the conclusion of the first week of this 8-week class for constitutional law. A number of you still have not completed that CJC quiz. The census date is tomorrow. You need to get that completed today. Again, you should have received the email from me if this applies to you, but you need to complete your entry quiz, your CJC quiz. Some of you have gone ahead and completed some of the other assignments, but not the actual entry quiz, and that needs to be completed to be counted present for class. So, welcome to class. I want to take a few moments. As you see, this is an 8-week class, so it's kind of a fast-paced class. We're going to hit on a lot of topics. Within this 8-week period, but I think it'll be really fun and we'll touch on some great things. So first, this week, what we're looking at going in Module 1, we're looking at introducing the Constitution. What is the Constitution? How did we get a Constitution? Where did it come from? So it goes back into the 1700s, around 1787, when actually our first form of Constitution was referred to as the Articles of Confederation. The Article of Confederation was our first kind of form of constitution guidelines per se for these states to become unified as one, because we had 13 separate colonies. And during that time, they needed to come together to form some type of a document to unify them and streamline things. Well, with that Article of Confederation, once that was completed, there was some of our forefounders who were still against it and for it. And some said the government had too much power. Some said they did not have enough power. So they went on and at the convention, the Philadelphia Convention, actually went, and that's where they went to draft our U.S. Constitution. So it was first written in 1787 and actually was ratified in 1789 for our U.S. Constitution. And what does that mean? The Constitution is broken down into several articles, like Article 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then within each article it has a section. Our Constitution has 27 amendments. The first 10, again, the first 10 are referred to as what? Hopefully you answered that. The first 10 are referred to as the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights. Within the Bill of Rights, it basically guarantees you some sort of liberties or protections against the government, basically saying what the government cannot do. So in Module 1, we look at the First Amendment, which is the freedom of speech and press. And within this chapter, you're actually going through to understand first, to see if something is even protected by the First Amendment, you have to first look at it and say, is it speech? That's the first thing, is it speech? Once you say, okay, this is speech, is it speech that's protected? We have certain speeches in conduct that is not protected, and you'll see that once you read under your reading assignment. For example, we start talking about obscenity, extra sexual hardcore activities and language, certain things like that are not protected. A gray area kind of comes when you start talking about racism. Now, hate crime, is it protected? You can voice your dislike with something. You have the right to do that, but it becomes a problem when your language starts to imply conduct. When your language starts to imply conduct. So, just taking for example, the same sex. You have a number of people who are against same-sex marriage. You have the right. You can say that. I mean, you have the freedom to religion, the freedom to express yourself. So whatever it be, why you think you may not like same-sex marriage, you have the right to say that. The problem becomes when your language is starting to imply conduct. So if you want to start hate crimes, if you want to start doing things against certain people merely because of their sexual orientation. So the First Amendment applies to officials of what type of government? All. Your local, state, and national. Our Constitution, and when we talk about amendments, it's not just applicable to your state police. It's not just applicable to your county workers. It's across the board. So our U.S. is federal, so that applies to everyone. Within this chapter, we're also going to talk about specific cases that you need to look at to outline some of the tests. The Miller versus California, you want to be able to look at that case and say, what test is that's being looked at there? What did that case establish the precedent for? And be able to articulate that with that. The Brandenburg test. What is that looking at, and what case precedent set that case for it to go? I'm going through a couple things that I just want to highlight as you guys are going through your chapters and reading. And remember, you only have to select one. You can do the reading assignment or the quiz. Do not do both because I would only count one, and this is going to be whichever one I count. So you may do the reading assignment or the quiz. Under your discussion board, you do not have to answer every question. Those are questions, the idea behind it, you can answer one or two, but you need to take time and expound on it. I don't expect like a 3-sentence answer. So on your discussion board, remember you want to, there's a list of questions you can pick which topic you would like to write on. You do not have to sit down and write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and answer each question. You pick one topic or two if you would like, and you need to make sure that's well thought out and provided some substantial feedback on that. Now, when you are replying to a classmate, I don't want you to reply on the same topic. Now, I know there's more than 10 people, there are more than 10 topics, but if you pick a topic, so if you pick topic on dealing with the regulation of speech, then maybe in that topic when you reply, I don't want you to reply on the same topic. Make sure you reply on a different topic. You need to have your initial post posted by the 3rd day of the week. So that'd be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Wednesday, make sure you have your initial post. So that's just you answering that question or questions, and then you have up until that following due date to actually post your replies. So I digressed a little bit from where I was going for the First Amendment, but I wanted to get that underneath there to talk about that. So going back to, we're talking about the First Amendment dealing with freedom of speech and what is covered under that. Miller versus California, what does that look at and what was defined by that? I want you to be able to do that. Also to be able to discuss what topics or what type of speech is not protected by our U.S. Constitution. So what speech is not protected? Which ones has limited protection? Limited mean it can kind of go any way. That's what that means, you know. Being able to look at and understand why. Why is this fully protected? Why does this have limited protection? And go forth with that. Also, when you start talking about seizings when they're able to take, seizing obscenity or obscene materials, what is required? What must the police have if they're going to do that? Describing fighting words. So we say, are fighting words protected by the U.S. Constitution? First, you need to answer that question. Are they protected? What constitutes or what looks at describing something as fighting words? I'm looking through, just making sure I hit on everything as you guys are preparing. And hate speech. So that's the main thing that you want to look at when you're reading. I have my book here. Also looking at understanding, what I want you to be able to do is be able to know, what are your first 10 amendments? What are the first 10 amendments? The Bill of Rights, what does that deal with? So try to get that down. I may have some extra credit or something for that, for your first 10 amendments. Also, for those of you who have not done so yet, you can go ahead and go on Periscope. I'm actually up, this is the Periscope icon on your phone. You can go on Periscope and you can follow me on Periscope. I have not done any lectures or anything yet, so I'm trying to put it up here. I'm going to get it up here for a second for you, but go follow me on Periscope, so in the evenings or when I'm coming on live, you and I can chat back and forth on Periscope. And I am also going to try to have interviews or sit down with different people to try to bring some of that real life experience into the online class. So I am going to try to do that as well. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to make sure I pull up my correct name for you. Okay, so my name is Duncan CJC on Periscope. You can't really see that. Duncan CJC, Dr. Anderson Duncan. You just download the Periscope app, and then you can follow me. And again, that is the Periscope. Oh, you can't see that. The little one with the little blue right there. That's Periscope. And you can follow me on there. And like I said, I'm going to try to do some live chatting so we can converse back and forth and talk about a couple things. think that is pretty much it. When I do my videos, I probably will stumble over words, make mistakes. My phone may ring. I don't go back and re-edit them or correct it, because if you were in the classroom, I don't have the opportunity to go back and redo it. So I try to give you that same live interaction. So again, we're on Module 1, looking at the first part of our Constitution, understanding the first form of Constitution was our Article of Confederation. Why did it come about? That First Amendment is dealing with freedom of speech. You need to look through that, understand what does that mean, and what is covered by freedom of speech. If you have any questions, I am here. Feel free to give me a call if you have not done so. Also, on your introduction discussion board, some of you have only posted your initial. You have not posted a reply. For those of you who have posted your initial and your replies, those are graded, so you can go in and see your grade. For those of you who have not posted a reply, you still have time, but I just want to make sure you know to go back and post replies. So make sure you do that. I want to get that out there. Also, okay, so I think that was all. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to shoot me an email, call me, send me a message on Periscope. We can always set up a Skype or anything. So I'll talk to you guys soon.